Hi, and welcome back again to the Brent Mayer Show. I am going to be joined with Jodi, who is out doing the recovery efforts led by Samaritan's Purse out in West North Carolina. Jodi, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you for having us. Thank you for getting the word out.
Jodi, why don't you just tell us some of the things that you have seen out there? I know that people are coming to me asking what is truth and what's not. And so this is just a way for people to access someone on the ground who's seeing it firsthand. What are you seeing out in West North Carolina, and where exactly are you right now?
Sure. We're in Asheville, North Carolina set up. We're supporting the surrounding communities. We also have a site set up in Boone, North Carolina, supporting those surrounding communities as well. Both sites are catastrophic damage throughout the neighborhoods, Asheville and the surrounding here. There's roads that have been washed out, bridges that have been washed out, homes that have been washed away. Tragically, a lot of loss of life here. It's just heartbreaking to see this community going through this. This is our backyard. Samaritan's Purse is headquartered in Boone, North Carolina. So a lot of our staff were impacted by the storm, and they're out working. They're committed to helping our neighbors, getting out, loving on them, sharing the hope of Jesus, and doing those physical things that need to be done, mudding out houses, taking out that wet material, getting it out, taking their belongings out for them. We're tarping roofs, we're cutting trees, clearing debris. We have a field hospital that is set up in Western North Carolina to help aid with those emergency people that are coming in to start with, so we can triage them. We also have some tents set up in Boone for those people that may have been without oxygen for some time. At any given time, there's 4 or 5 people in those tents being able to get oxygen. We are doing water drops here with our helicopter, taking in food, water supplies to those people that we know are trapped. Also, baby supplies, food, that kind of thing, dropping that in as well. And we do have a water filtration site that's set up in Swannanoa. It's right here outside of Asheville that can support up to 10,000 people. And we do have 2 more on standby here ready to go if they need it.
Wow, gosh, you guys are truly, you are the hands and feet of Jesus out there. When you've gone into those areas that have been cut off now for, I think we're on 7 days, right? Some of these areas since it made landfall. What is the response of those people that you're finally able to access out there who have been largely cut off for so long?
Sure. A lot of them don't know what's going on. They have no clue what has gone on outside of their house. So that when they make access to the outside world, they're really surprised to find out the extent of the damage. And they're glad to see somebody coming to help, coming in Jesus' name to help, loving on them and giving them that support that they need.
Have you had any stories that stand out to you with any of the rescue missions that you guys have gone on?
So we did have a team lead that came back talking about a gentleman that had to hold his father over his head while the water was coming up. He held him up. The water was up chest height on the sun. He was holding his father above his head until the water receded and someone could get in to rescue them. And it's story after story like that, just harrowing stories coming out of Western North Carolina that people, I think, weren't quite as prepared. And the water rose so quickly, they didn't have a chance to get out. So we're trying to love on them and give them the support that they need to get through this extremely difficult time.
Yeah, it is an extremely difficult time. Tell me, just based on your experience out there and what you're seeing, how long do you think this recovery mission is going to be operating? How severe of damage are we looking at in terms of the length of this project?
Sure, this is catastrophic damage that has occurred here. Infrastructure's down, communication is down. We're going to be here as long as we need to be here supporting the community. We will take work orders with people requesting help, and we will stay until all of the work that we can accomplish is finished.
How can people, if they have a loved one who they haven't heard from, what's the best way for them to have you guys do a wellness check, or how does that work?
Yeah, so the government is actually doing that. The counties are doing that. They can go online.
Okay.
I know in Buncombe County, they do have a spreadsheet for them to be able to put their names on there so that they can get them on a list to go check on them.
Okay, so you guys are primarily focused on bringing in the resources and going into those areas that are still cut off with those necessary resources at this point.
Yeah, correct.
And then treating once those people have been brought out.
Yes.
So how can people support what you guys are doing? What's your greatest need right now?
Prayer Where's the greatest need for this area with a large loss of life and those that haven't been heard of? Many families are hurting. They don't know where to turn. They don't know what to do. So prayer is going to be the main thing. Volunteer support. Always at the beginning of a disaster, we have a big influx of volunteers, and then that goes away the further on we get. There are volunteer opportunities available, and those are at spvolunteer.org. All the information is there. We do have 5 sites across 4 states set up doing Hurricane Helene relief.
Well, we just thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for coming on and sharing what you're seeing and how people can support. And we'll stay in touch with your efforts as this thing continues.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jodi.